Said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, it's gonna get hard. You gotta keep striving. But you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, but the tears won't turn off. No tears, your heart's crying. Hold on to his words. Lean on him. It gets better by night.
The toughest war you ever face will be domestic. It's elementary, it's been this way for centuries. Cold War was raised against our seed. Take off them blinders, you will see. That it ain't about them gas prices, it's all about who whip the nicest. All about them deals on bundles, hair on fleek, don't make them up. Face beating red bottoms, dead beats we hear about them. Fitted up from head to toe, but never at their children's door. Wonder why they dying by the dozens, but it's simple, yo. Just listen. It's time we stop ignoring facts. It's time we take our family back. Fix the root and then attack. Stop making moves without a plan. Control emotions, then we stand. Calling on my kingdom and to come together. Take this land. We gotta fight, our future depends. Get the head back in order, cause that's where it begins. Invest your all into your garden, water the roots to the end. Nurture the family tree and let the fruit feed all men. Just listen.
This life gets tough, said you got.
Welcome to another episode of A Mile in My Shoes, where we ask the question, how can we say we know someone if we've never heard their story? Tonight, we have a very, very, very special guest, Triple T in the building, coming to share with us her story, how she got started, and what she has going on right now. Miss Tanya, welcome to A Mile in My Shoes. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Humble. Hey, everybody. It is a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be around Humble Joe. Positive energy.
Look, it's a long history we have, and like I said, you was the beginning of my start when it comes to poetry and sharing my gifts to the world. But tonight is about you. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on. We're gonna save that for the end. But tell us a little bit about what tonight is and what we're going to be talking about.
Tonight we're going to talk about the beginnings of my playwriting, but I do have a production that's coming up soon, and this prompted this interview with Humble. He's been doing such a great job with this, so we talked about it, and I think this is a good way to get it out there. We have a new play coming out, original stage play, called Deceptions, Decisions, and Lies, and I have a couple of my cast members here with me.
Who do we have with us tonight with you from the cast?
We have Ebony Kennedy, and we have Miss Kizzy.
How are y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Are y'all excited about the play?
So excited. Very excited.
Look, is this your first time being in the play, or have y'all did any acting before this?
I have acted before, but this is my first play.
So let me ask y'all a question. How is it working with Miss Tanya as a director?
Oh, we love it. We love it. Now she gonna make sure we get it right. Now let's put that out there. So we're gonna run it back. But no, I really love it. I enjoy it. And her creativity is amazing, and it's a beautiful way that we get to act it out. So it's great.
Yes. And I'm new to the cast, and she's a wonderful lady. I mean, she welcomed me in with open arms, and I love being around her. She's very good.
So, Miss Tanya, let's start from the beginning. Where did the inspiration? Where did all this writing start? How did we begin this?
Long time ago in my childhood, I always was able to see things or have visions and dreams, and music is something that really prompted it on when I realized that I could actually play some instruments and by ear and actually sing. And I was very young, probably about 7, 8, 9, somewhere between 7 to 9 years old. But when I would hear music, my house was always, we were always surrounded by music. My mom and dad would play music all the time in the house. And I would just see stories. When I would hear songs, I would see stories. A long time ago, songs used to tell stories. Some of them still do today. And, but, you know, some of them don't. But a lot of it was storytelling back then. So when they would tell their stories through song, I would visually see the stories. So throughout time, as I got older, I began, like, I played in the band in school and stuff. So I played music, and I also had a show band at 15 years old. And the music was just everywhere, and I was just seeing this stuff. So somewhere in my late teens to early 20s, I did a production called The Life and Times of Mickey McLeod.
Right.
And yes, and that was in Houston. So once I did that, I just always wanted to write. But life got a little bit busy, so I couldn't write, but I kept doing my music and I kept singing professionally. So as time rolled on and I had a little break in life, I was able to like start back to writing.
Now, one thing we discussed, and I don't want to keep them out of practice in rehearsal too long. One thing we discussed about is the spiritual aspect, and we're gonna get into that deeper. But tell them a little bit about the spiritual aspect of your writing and how that has a lot to do with your plays.
Well, I think that early on in life, and you and I may not have discussed this part, but early on in life, I've always had vivid dreams and visions and things of end times and things like that, even as young as I could remember as 4 and 5 years old, of the end of the world and all kind of stuff. I could just see things. And throughout that time, I could see things and know things were coming before they would come. So it was like a gift of vision. At one point in my life, I got into the church. I was in church, in and out of church all through my life. But as time rolled on and on and on again, and I got a little bit older, I was deeply rooted into the church. And being deeply rooted in the church, I began to like really want to write about things to help people or circumstances to be able to show people about diversity and stuff. So most of my plays have been inspired by the spirit.
It's very deep. The meanings behind your plays are very, very deep.
Yes.
I'm gonna let the girls get back, but I want to ask y'all before y'all go, if you could tell anybody why should they come see this play, I want each of y'all to answer that. Kizzy, we starting with you. Why should they come see this play?
Well, you should come see the play. It's very funny, like, and it's also awareness about sex trafficking. And but you should come and see the play because you don't have anything to do, and you should come see us, and we're gonna be funny. So go ahead.
And I would definitely say you should definitely come out and see the show because the way Miss Tanya writes her plays is amazing, and you're never gonna know what's gonna happen next. And that you know, you go to a movie and you can guess everything that's about to happen. This is not the case. So that's why we want you to come out. It's gonna be an enjoyable experience. Trust me. We won't let you down.
I thank y'all, ladies. I'm gonna let y'all get to rehearsal, and we're gonna continue with Miss Tanya. And I look forward to seeing y'all on that night because I'm coming. Definitely will be in the building to watch the play. I'm bringing the wife with me. Thank y'all for being on the Mile in My Shoes, and I'm gonna let y'all get to rehearsal now.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. See you in just a little bit.
So, Miss Tanya, let's get back to this. Let's go back to the writing and how you have the ability to put these masterpieces together. How do you do it? How does it come together? How did the ideas come? Where does the inspiration come from?
The inspiration we talked about, it comes through music or songs. I will hear a song and I will know that that song is like the heartbeat of what I want to write about. And the next thing, the title will come. And the title will just pop up and there's the title. And when I sit down at the keyboard and I begin typing, once I hear it in my head, the music, it gives me like a theme. I don't have the total plot all at once, but I get that theme on it. And so once the theme comes there, I begin to get ready to write and I put that title on paper. And once I put that title on paper and I rest my hands on a keyboard, then I begin to just type and it just flows. It's so hard to explain explain this, but it just flows. The writing just flows. It flows with the conversation. Someone will say this, and then someone will say that, and then all of a sudden, all of the characters start popping up all around me. Lots of little characters, and now over the years, it's been many characters will come as I'm typing, and it'll be like, pick me, pick me. I want to be the one in this one. I didn't get to be in the last one. They're turning flips on the floors and all in my head and saying they want to be the ones as I'm typing. So all of a sudden, as the keys keep rolling and I keep typing, they start flipping into the script. Some of them are left out this time, so we just wait till the next time and then we pick one of them. But that's how it is. And the characters will all have names, and they give me their names as I'm typing. Now this sounds really weird, but just imagine the stenographer in court. The stenographer is steady typing everything that's going on in the court, but she's actually hearing it from what's surrounding her in the court, from the judge, the jury, the lawyers in the court, and she's typing every little thing. Well, I hear all these things and all these conversations in my head, and I'm typing them as I hear them. So once I get to a resting point where things rest, I go back and look at it and start to clean it up, and I look at it and it's like, wow, did I write that? So it's
now,
weird.
We're going to get back to the plays, but now, since you're in that vein, I want to pick your brain. How is it living in the world, having the mind of a writer? Like being as though you see everything for what it is. You see past the veil. How do you maintain? This is me in my geek self asking. How do you maintain in the world when you actually see everything for what it is? How do you keep yourself balanced with the mind that you have? Because I understand that mind.
And let me get some clarification on that. When you say when you see everything the way it is, what are you telling me?
Basically, just seeing past the veil, past the way they try to make it seem, and the images that's put in front of us, and trying to get us to go down certain paths. And how do you maintain in the world having the mind that can see all of these things that's going on?
Well, it actually is an inspiration to the writing, because I can foresee things before they happen sometimes. And in that being so, I'm writing before it happens. One of the plays that we did was called The Sacrifice. And it talks about the 3 days of darkness in it. And if anybody knows, there's a lot of buzz about the 3 days of darkness now. And it was some before. And of course, we all know that that's a verse that's, that they speak of in the Bible, biblically, 3 days of darkness. But it is something that people are anticipating happening, like the power grids going down,
yes,
everybody
indeed.
being in darkness. And that play was written probably, I want to tell you, it was written about 8 years ago, maybe 9. And we performed it in Houston downtown at the Ensemble Theater in Houston downtown. And it was a big success.
Give us some details in depth on the play and how it unfolds, and some of the characters and the plot twist of that play, the deeper meanings. Because I really want people to know how deep the meanings are of your plays. Like, it's not just you coming to laugh, you coming to smile, you coming to cry, but the deep embedded meanings in your plays, I want them to know how deep it goes.
Well, everything that I write will always have a question mark. It will have a subtitle with a question mark. So that one was The Sacrifice. And the subtitle was, Will You Make One or Be One?
Oh, Lord.
And that basically, in a nutshell, is about the different lifestyles of people in the world. You have people who are actually like shooting people down with guns, pitching knives. It's everything chaotic going on in the streets. Yeah. Everything. You have the life of the prostitutes, the pimps, the pushers. Then you have the life of the normal people. You have the life of the spiritual people who are attached to church or whatever their spiritual preferences are, but they're spiritually inclined in their lifestyles. They live a lifestyle that is an exemplary life. So they are, of course, trying to get people to live a righteous life, but in the middle of all of it, there is total chaos. And they are able to interact with all of these people who are brought to their house in the middle of things going on, and someone is actually murdered in the hallway, and they hear it. It's one of the favorite characters called Sparkle. And they almost cried. Well, people did cry almost, and they were so hurt when Sparkle got killed. But Sparkle was living a different kind of life. So she was killed in the hallway. But in all of that, all of these people were drawn together through circumstance. They all ended up in one place. Yeah. And the ones that didn't make it to the safe haven, then they met their demise. And that was what it was about. And we showed the 3 days of darkness where the lights went out and different things like that. It was a very exciting play. And not only are my plays dramatic, where they have suspense, a thrill, and all of that, they also have a comedic twist to it. So you'll get to laugh. Yes, indeed. You'll get to laugh and you'll get to cry if you choose. Right. And that particular play, there was a lot of both. It keeps you on the edge of the seat. And as the lady said before they left, Miss Ebony just said that you don't ever know what to expect. Well, that's one of the things about my plays. I want you to always be on the edge of your seat whenever a scene ends, to where you're wondering what is going to happen next.
Let's talk about that for a moment. Let's take it back to what gave you the idea to make that your signature at the end of each scene, to have you stuck there waiting. When was that birthed as your signature?
That was birthed about 12 years ago, because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. I wanted to show examples of things in plays and things that go on, and maybe some things that people aren't aware of, that it actually comes to fruition in their life eventually. But I want them to be aware, even if they haven't seen it, so that they will know that it does exist. See, some people live behind, what do you call it, when they're cloaked, they're covered. They're always covered, and they don't get to see all the extra stuff. And we have to understand that there are always there's different kind of people in life, people with diverse lifestyles. And just because whatever our perception is of something is not always the same perception of someone else. As I see it, you may not see it. As I live my life, you may have never lived your life like that. But we need to understand sometimes, and this is why people do some of the things that they do, because of their surroundings, because of what their element that they're in. And so with this, at the end of each play, there's always that question, and we usually conclude it with the question and the answer. And the sacrifice, absent from the body, was another one. Where will you spend eternity? So in the end, people got a chance on that one to actually view on absent from the body a casket. And they were at the funeral when we opened the last scene. And when they chose to come up and look in the casket, the mirror was there, and they saw themselves in the mirror. Which means they saw themselves in the casket.
Hold on. For those who didn't catch that, explain that a little bit slower so they can understand that last scene. The last scene, a casket on the stage.
Yes.
Go ahead.
A casket on the stage. Absent from the body was the name of the play. And the question was, where will you spend eternity? Well, we opened the last scene with a funeral. And the audience was all at the funeral with us. Mm-hmm. So we invited the audience to come up and pay their respects to Terrence, who was in the casket. Well, who was supposed to be in the casket. To Terrence, who had died. And we were burying him and memorializing. They walked up. Many of them, some of them didn't want to come look at him. A few of them didn't, but most of them got up and looked at it. And when they looked in the casket, the mirror was there in the casket, inside the casket. And when they looked down, they saw their own reflection in the casket.
Wow.
So
that's kind of chilling.
It was.
To even think about it now, that's chilling.
And I've had past cast members who now are no longer with us. We had a couple of them who passed away. One of the young ladies who played in that play, Absent from the Body, Miss Naja Nova was a tremendous actress. Oh my gosh, she had the people in tears for her scenes. And she's not with us anymore, but she was a wonderful asset to that play. But in all, we've lost a few people in our production crew, but we still continue on, and it's always with purpose. So when you come to see the new play that we have out, the title of it is Deceptions, Decisions, and Lies. And the question to that one is, where will you draw the line? Because you will see various characters and lifestyle again. And the question is, in your life, are you sitting in any of those positions, or could you be a product of what just happened in that situation? It's bringing a certain awareness to people in this play. Okay, so just to know that perhaps sometimes in the middle of all the deception and the lies, things that you think are really not. And as you asked earlier in that question about seeing, how do you see things ahead of time and living in this world and write, it is an inspiration because you see it before it happens, so you're able to put it to the pen before things are happening. And this particular thing is going on now in the world, and it is getting out of hand, and we are about to bring a full attention to this so that people will become more aware and not become victims of it.
Now, when it comes to being someone who is placed on this earth to bring awareness to so many, how do you draw the strength to just stand in that seat of leadership to say, I'm going to say and show what everybody else wants? Where does that bravery come from?
I stumbled on that a little bit because, I mean, it's not about me. And I just know in my soul that everyone is placed here for a purpose. And I pretty much know what my purpose is. And all of our purpose in life is to help one another. That is what we're here for, to be helped. And no matter what walk of life you're in, if you are the President of the United States, if you are the Queen of England, wherever you are in this world, your obligation is to help. And I suppose, as it was said and has been said, too much given, much required. Much is required. So if you are in even a leadership place, really a lot is required of you, even more than the next person, because you have the opportunity to give even more. So it is just pretty much about purpose. It's not about me and what I do. I just know in my soul that I'm supposed to help people. When I ran into you humble years ago, 2011, like 12 years ago, you were in the beginnings. You were trying to get your poetry out there. And I like working with people who have talent. So we did Give Me the Mic, Louisiana.
I had never touched a microphone in my life.
You never did?
No. That was the first time ever, and that was the start of everything.
We had a lot of firsts, and you won.
Yes, indeed.
You won first place in the competition.
But look, just given the opportunity and look at the fruit from it.
And now you are doing all kinds of stuff, helping people, reaching out, pulling people up. And that's what it's about. Reach out to one, grab one, pull them up. Reach out to another one, grab one. When you finish with that, grab another one, pull them up.
So I want to know all the details. Before we wrap this up, I need every single detail. Where, when, how do they get tickets? Where can they pre-order tickets? How much is it going to cost at the door? I need to know every detail so the people can know. Because like I said, me and the wife will be here. We will be here to see this play.
It's going to be quite a treat.
So,
and now this is on Halloween, what they call Halloween, but we are not Halloween. It's not a Halloween play, but if you want to say because it's on that day that they call Halloween. But it's not about Halloween. It is on October the 31st. It is a Tuesday evening. It lasts about, with the intermission, maybe 2 hours. So it's from 7 to 9. The doors open at 6 o'clock. At 9:15, you should be getting out of here and going to your cars or either mingling with the cast and crew in the lobby. It is from doors open at 6. You can buy your tickets at www.citedesarts.org. Now that right there is something else, because y'all, I don't know if Humble's going to try to put it on the screen. Are you able to, Humble?
I'm about to try to type it in right now as we
see if
speak.
you can type that up for you, but you can purchase those tickets at www.citedesarts.org. Now, if anyone is from Lafayette or the surrounding areas and you are familiar with the theater downtown, it is a wonderful theater. It is a theater that is a nonprofit organization. It helps a lot of us writers, musicians, and everyone else to come in here and hone our skills. Iron sharpens iron. A lot of us work together, but it's Cite des Arts is the name of the theater, and it's spelled C-I-T-E, and then the middle word is D-E-S, des. Arts is the third word, A-R-T-S, and it's .org. And those tickets are on sale now for $18. They're on an early bird special sale for $18 until the 30th of the month, the end of the month. And I believe they go to $22.50 after that, and $25 at the door. So right now is a good time to get in on those. The address is 109, that's 109 Vine Street, V-I-N-E, 109 Vine Street, Lafayette, Louisiana. And as I said, those tickets are on early bird sale right now for $18. And you get more than a show. Trust me, you will leave here, and there are many people who have been to my place and they rave about them, and they return every time that I put a show on. So you will really enjoy yourself. So if you need a quick date night that night.
Oh, we gonna be in here. I'm dressed, me and the wife dressing, and we coming through.
You wanna come with some friends, family members, or just come by yourself if you're alone. Don't be alone, because it'll be a lot of us here. And we will be talking to everybody after the show. So come on out and have a good time. There is a cafe here. It's a bar, cafe / and you can purchase your drinks, beverages, soft drinks, and usually they have alcohol. I'm not sure on that night. I've got to get with the guy, but usually they have a bartender. So there is a little intermission for about 10 minutes, maybe 15, but usually 10-minute intermission. And once again, it's Cite des Arts, 109 Vine Street in Lafayette, Louisiana. And the play's title is Deceptions, Decisions, and Lies. Where will you draw the line?
Miss Tanya, I thank you for walking a mile. And look, this will not be the last time I have more, but we're going to save that for another night. I appreciate you. And like I said, I always honor you for the beginning and the start that you gave me, you and your husband gave me. We appreciate you. And look, everybody, I want y'all to pull up. We're going to support her in her endeavor because, like I said, it is well worth it. Trust me when I'm telling you, it is well worth it. It was very deep, impactful, comedy, laughter, and a message. Come on, man. Where you gonna get that at, man?
You get it all.
Where you gonna get that at? So Deceptions, Decisions, and Lies. We can't wait. October 31st. Cite des Arts, 109 Vine Street. I hope to see each and every one of you there. Look, get here early. Don't get caught without a seat. I'm telling you now. Get your tickets and get here early. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We going out with a song, and we'll see y'all on October 31st. Y'all have a good night.
Gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No, he hears your heart's cry. Hold on to his words. Lean on him. It gets better by
To my queens, I see y'all in a different way. It's more to y'all than posing pictures on your Facebook page. God-given power to uplift a man, to make a slave, speak life into our dreams, or tear us down and watch us fade away. Know your position, cause you're vital to the family structure, no replacing any mother. Careful how you treating love. Elegant, heaven sent etiquette is like no other. Her love is better than buttered biscuits right out the oven. Know who you are, don't let this world define. Shape or mold you, God's daughter, queen of nations. There's no box to ever hold you. Life creator, womb protector, heaven sent. Love injector, backbone, best gift ever, worth more than hidden treasure. I speak life, cause this world is trying to turn you cold. Replace that heart of stone with flesh. We need your love to make us whole. Kick back your crown and hold us down. Together, we won't fold. Get back to love how God intended. Change to make this family.
Even though this life is tough, said you gotta